And we're shifting focus to Gaza now. At least 27 Palestinians were killed in Israeli fire, gunned down near a food distribution point in Rafah. This is the third attack near an aid site to be reported in the last 3 days. In a place which is already on the brink of famine, where millions are starving, displaced, desperate, the scenes of devastation coming out of Gaza prompted the United Nations to demand a probe. On Tuesday, the United Nations called for a prompt and impartial investigation with the authorities in Gaza accusing Israel of deliberately luring civilians into kill zones.
The attacks on distraught civilians trying to access the paltry amounts of food aid in Gaza are unconscionable. For a third day running, people were killed around an aid distribution site run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. This morning, we received information that dozens more people were killed and injured. There must be a prompt and impartial investigation into each of these attacks and those responsible held to account.
Now, that's a big charge on Israel. But as the death toll in Gaza climbs, so is the international concern about war crimes, accountability, and a humanitarian operation unraveling into chaos. On the ground, it was horror in Rafah. Palestinians rushed to carry the injured, some lifeless. Those that were killed collecting aid were civilians just trying to reach food. According to the Hamas-run authorities in Gaza, 102 people have died while collecting aid since the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is an Israeli-backed initiative, began operating in the Palestinian enclave. This new aid system has been started by Israel following the 80-day blockade on food deliveries it imposed on Gaza. The Israeli aid agency pays American contractors to distribute food from a handful of sites that are mostly in Israeli-occupied areas of southern Gaza. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation replaced the older system that used to be overseen by the UN. While Israel says that the GHF is needed to prevent Hamas from stealing and stockpiling food, the United Nations has opposed the Israeli aid system. The UN says that GHF endangers civilians by forcing them to walk for miles to get food, and could facilitate an Israeli plan to displace the population of northern Gaza, along with UN. Other aid groups also saying that the bloodshed in recent days just proves their point about the risk of the new Israeli aid system. On the shooting, the Israeli military says troops admitted to firing shots, but they were evasive shots near individuals who had strayed from the designated access routes and were not listening to warnings. According to the Israeli army, the shooting occurred around 550 yards from the distribution site and says it is looking into the details. The International Committee of the Red Cross confirmed that their field hospital in Rafah received 184 casualties, with 27 dead and many in critical condition. Doctors describing the scene as absolute carnage.
We've had a shooting at the GHF aid distribution centre near Rafah. A lot of the injured people were taken to the local field hospitals, we think to ICRC, but we have had an extortionate amount of people come through the door. As you can see behind me, we've got all the bays are full and they're all gunshot wounds. It's absolute carnage here, and there are even more people in the main emergency department.
The war has killed more than 54,000 Palestinians. In northern Gaza, 3 Israeli soldiers were also killed in fighting on Tuesday as the military pushes on with its months-long offensive against Hamas in Gaza. Palestinians have to now put up with poor hygiene.